Hello, and welcome to another episode of Honest Conversations, where we peel back the layers no one dares to touch. Should you get married or not? It sounds like a simple question, but these days it's anything but. Once, marriage was a milestone everyone was expected to reach. Now, it's a conversation, a debate, a decision that feels heavier than ever because we've seen what happens when it's entered for the wrong reasons. We've watched love turn into obligation. We've seen happiness staged for the world and heartbreak hidden behind smiles. We've seen people lose themselves while trying to hold something together. So this isn't about cynicism. It's about clarity. Because the truth is, marriage isn't dying, it's evolving. And maybe, before we talk about rings or vows or timelines, we need to ask better questions. Why do I want to get married? What do I believe about partnership? And who am I becoming before I say I do? Let's talk about that, honestly. Because somewhere between tradition and transformation, between love and fear, lies the real story of modern marriage. Marriage. It used to be a dream. Now it's a debate. A sacred promise, turned into a complicated question. Because these days, marriage doesn't hold the same glow it once did. People aren't just rushing into it anymore, they're questioning it, dissecting it, wondering if it's still worth it. We've seen too much, haven't we? We've seen the love stories that ended in silence. We've seen people who looked happy online slowly fade behind closed doors. We've seen women who gave everything and lost themselves in the process. We've seen men trying to lead without knowing what leadership looks like in today's world. And now, so many are quietly asking, should I even get married at all? Let's talk about it, honestly, because the truth is, marriage isn't all bad. It's not the villain people make it out to be. But it's also not the fairy tale we were sold. It's both beautiful and brutal. And somewhere in between those two truths lies reality. Once upon a time, marriage was survival. People didn't marry for love. They married for stability, for land, for legacy. Love was a bonus, not the foundation. Then came the modern age, and suddenly we wanted it all. Love, chemistry, emotional safety, purpose, friendship, ambition, all in one person. We put the weight of every emotional need on one human being, and then we wonder why it collapses under the pressure. But today, it's different. People don't need marriage to survive anymore. Women are building empires. Men are redefining what it means to provide. Everyone has options, freedom, voice. So the question isn't just, should I get married? The real question is, why do I want to? Because here's the truth. Marriage doesn't save you. It exposes you. It doesn't complete you. It reveals what's missing. It's not a reward for being good. It's a mirror for who you are. If you enter it with loneliness, you'll meet your loneliness louder. If you enter it with unhealed wounds, they'll echo through every argument. Marriage magnifies everything you refuse to face alone. And yet, when it's right, it's powerful. When it's built on wholeness, not desperation, it can be one of life's most healing spaces. Because real partnership is not about fixing each other. It's about growing together, learning each other's language, being gentle with what's fragile, being honest with what hurts. But let's also be real. Marriage today exists in a cultural confusion. We grew up hearing, "Don't rush marriage," and in the same breath, "Don't be too late." We're told, "Focus on yourself," but also, "Don't be too independent." We hear, "Find love," and also, "Don't be too picky." So people are torn between fear and pressure, between wanting connection and protecting their freedom. And that's why so many are avoiding it altogether, because they don't want to repeat what they've seen. They don't want to lose their identity. They don't want to settle for less, or end up lonely in something that's supposed to bring companionship. But here's the twist. Marriage itself isn't the problem. It's the people entering it unprepared. It's unhealed hearts trying to build a home. It's people mistaking chemistry for compatibility, or attention for affection. A healthy marriage requires maturity. It's not a reward for finding someone. It's a test of what you've built within yourself. Because love without self-awareness becomes chaos, and connection without emotional intelligence becomes control. That's why the work before marriage is so important. You don't prepare for a wedding. You prepare for partnership. You learn how to communicate without ego, how to fight fair without destroying trust, how to apologize without shame, and how to keep showing up, even when the feelings fade for a moment. The right marriage can refine you. It can grow your patience, your empathy, your humility. But the wrong one can kill your spirit, quietly, every day. That's why you must ask yourself, not, "Do I want marriage?" but "Am I ready for it?" Because timing matters. Marriage at 25 and marriage at 35 are two different experiences. In your 20s, you're still becoming. You're still figuring out your purpose, your peace, your boundaries. In your 30s, you start to know what truly matters. So never let age pressure rush you into forever. The wrong marriage at 25 can delay your destiny longer than waiting till 40 for the right one. And we have to stop glorifying weddings over marriages. We celebrate the photo, but not the partnership. We prepare for a day, not a lifetime. The music fades. The lights go off. The pictures are posted. And that's when real life begins. That's when you discover whether you married a teammate or just a partner for the aesthetic. Let's talk about men and women for a moment. Men today are standing between two worlds. They were raised on old scripts, but are living in a new era. They're told to lead, but no one tells them how. They want to be strong, but not controlling. They want to love deeply, but fear being judged for being too soft. And women have evolved. They've built voice, independence, confidence. But deep down, they still desire connection, safety, softness. So now, men and women are trying to love each other without the old rule book. And it's hard, because power dynamics are shifting, because ego meets healing, because no one taught us how to build equality in love. That's why modern marriage needs consciousness. It needs awareness. It needs two people who are not just emotionally attracted, but spiritually aligned. It's not about performance, it's about partnership. It's not about dominance, it's about understanding. So, should you get married or not? Here's the honest truth. If you see marriage as a place to grow, not to hide, maybe yes. If you've done the work to understand your wounds, your triggers, your emotional patterns, maybe yes. If you love yourself enough not to expect someone else to do the job for you, maybe yes. But if you're lonely, if you're lost, if you're waiting for someone to make you feel enough, wait. Marriage will not save you from yourself. And let's admit something most people don't say out loud. Not everyone is meant to marry, and that's perfectly okay. Some souls are called to build differently. Some people will live full, happy, and purposeful lives single. And that doesn't make them broken. It just means their path looks different. We've been taught to treat marriage like the ultimate prize. But peace is the prize. Wholeness is the prize. Purpose is the prize. Marriage is just one of the possible vehicles toward those things, not the destination itself. Because when it's right, marriage is beautiful. It's two people choosing each other over and over, even when it's hard. It's safety. It's friendship. It's growth. It's a soft landing place in a hard world. But when it's wrong, it's suffocating. It's loneliness while lying beside someone every night. It's shrinking yourself to keep the peace. It's pretending you're okay when your soul is slowly dimming. So no, marriage is not dying. It's evolving. We're learning to build love with more awareness, not obligation. We're learning to define partnership beyond tradition. We're unlearning the idea that you need marriage to be complete. And we're starting to realise the best marriages are not built out of fear, but out of choice. Because in the end, marriage doesn't make you whole. It meets you where your wholeness already lives. It multiplies what's already inside you. If you're empty, it'll magnify emptiness. If you're healed, it'll magnify peace. So before you ask, should I get married? Ask, who am I becoming? Ask, what am I bringing into someone's life? Ask, do I even know myself enough to share myself with someone else? Marriage isn't the finish line. It's just another beginning. And like every beginning, it deserves preparation, wisdom, and truth. Because the truth is, marriage doesn't complete you. It reveals you. It doesn't fix your story. It writes a new chapter with your truths on full display. It's sacred, but only if entered with awareness. So don't rush it, and don't fear it either. Don't let society's noise define your timeline. Let wisdom guide you. Let peace lead you. And if you ever do say, I do, let it be from a place of fullness, not fear. Because when two whole people choose each other, consciously, daily, patiently, that's when marriage becomes what it was always meant to be. Not a cage, but a covenant. Not a loss, but a partnership. Not an ending, but a deep and sacred beginning. So, should you get married or not? Maybe the better question is, are you ready for what marriage reveals? Because marriage doesn't save you, it shows you. It magnifies what's already inside. And when it's right, when it's built on healing, truth, and choice, it becomes more than a promise. It becomes a practice, a daily act of awareness, forgiveness, and growth. But even if you never say, I do, remember, your wholeness was never waiting on someone else's name. Peace is the real prize. Wholeness is the real home. And that's what the Love and Life Notebook is all about. Honest conversations, gentle reflections, and real love stories. If you believe in growing deeper, not just older, subscribe, join the dialogue, and let's keep exploring love in all its forms together. Because the story isn't over. It's just beginning.